Now, the ones who were not there last class, QSASCOM. Now, what is the full form of this? The full form of this is Queen Sally and Shelley came out to the marketplace. Now, why they had come up with this sentence to make you understand that why, like, Q goes with quality, S goes with size, A goes with age, S goes with shape, C goes with color, O origin, M material, P purpose. So to make you remember, like these are the things which are taken to be there as an adjective. If I'm talking about quality, if I'm talking about size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, anything like, for example, look here, when I'm saying quality, good. It can be good, it can be bad, great, terrible, pretty, lovely, beautiful. So these are quality, few qualities which I have come up with, but these are not the only ones. When I say size, again, if I'm using huge in a sentence, that is, if I'm using huge to describe a noun in a sentence, that is huge is also a quality. No matter whether it's related to size. If I'm saying big, if I'm saying tall, long, tiny, large, all these are related to size. But if they are describing noun in a sentence, it is a adjective. When I'm saying shape, shape can be round, it can be flat, square, triangle, rectangle, any shape it can be. But if that shape is describing a noun in a sentence, then it is an adjective. Age, young, old, new, ancient, 6 years old, again. When you must have seen over here when I was doing, Ram is 10 years old. I have used the number 10 over here. So this is adjective of number, but still 10 is taken to be as an adjective. It's an adjective of number. So same I'm using here 6 years old. Ancient means old, new, old, young, color, red, black, pale, bright, faded, shining, yellow, orange. Origin, American, French, Canadian, Indian. Material, wooden, silk, metal, paper, wool, silver, copper, cotton. Any material among if it is used to describe a noun in a sentence, you will make it an adjective. Purpose, writing, moving, sleeping, roasting, running, dancing. If any among these words or any words like this are used to describe a noun in a sentence, these are taken to be there as an adjective. Yes, Vanya?
Ma'am, please go to previous slide. Yes, ma'am, in that rule one, ma'am, what you mean by Queen Shelley and Shelley came?
This just anytime what happened, we are not as we do adjective first time, many of you do adjective first time, it do happen that you all get confused. So why we have come up with this thing? Queen Sally and Shelley came out to the marketplace. This is just like one sentence. Like we remember poems now, we learn poems. So in the same way, this is just one sentence which you need to remember so that it will help you to understand, okay, if I say Q, these see quality, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. It may happen that you can forget any among these. If material comes, you may get confused. Material is an adjective, yes or no, you will get confused. So to make you memorize it, make you remember that all these, we have used Queen Sally and Shelley came out of the market. This sentence we have used to make you remember all these 8 things. Okay? Okay. Now,
Previous slide, I was writing it.
what?
Can you the previous slide? I was writing.
You all get the recording? True. Mute yourself. True, Valamuri, mute yourself. Sneha, your camera is off. Leelakan, good sleep. Good night. Sleep time. Sleep, sleep, Leelakan. What is this now? Why were you sleeping? Done?
Yes.
Now, using and with adjectives. Sneha, I can't see you. Now, we can choose to use and before the final item in a list of adjectives used before a noun. Now, she was cold, tired, and hungry. Now, see, I'm using 3 adjective words in a sentence. She was cold is one adjective, tired is another, and hungry is also the third one. So, when we are using 3 adjective or maybe 2 adjective in a sentence, we try to bring and when we are coming up with the very last adjective in a sentence. Like she was cold, tired. Between these two, there is a comma because one more adjective is there. So before that, we have to and. When there are more than 2 or more color adjective, use and. A black and white dress. Now, when I say a black and white dress, so I'm using 2 colors over here. So obviously, when we are using anything and nothing more is being used in a sentence, we use and in. A green, yellow, and blue flag. Now, over here, 3 colors we are discussing. So, 2 colors we are just going to come up with a comma in between. And when we are talking the last color, which is there in a flag, we do add and over. When there is more than one quality, we do not use and with them. Now, obviously, when we are talking about when we are talking about a quality, which is more than one in number, we never use and with. Please remember this thing. A good friendly man. We never say a good and friendly man. No. When we are talking about qualities which are more than one in number, we will never use and with. A beautiful, clever child. Okay. So please avoid using and when we are talking about the quality. Yes, Vanya?
Ma'am, why do we not use and?
Beta, that's a rule. Okay. Okay. Now, adjective, we have degrees of comparison. Remember, we have 3 degrees of comparison. The first is said to be positive degree. The second is said to be comparative degree. The third is said to be superlative degree. Now, when we talk about positive degree, we are not comparing anything. We are not comparing. But when we are talking about the second degree, that is comparative degree, see, comparative means compare. When I'm saying comparative degree, we are comparing 2 person or things. Only 2 person or thing, not more than that in comparative. When I'm saying superlative degree, we are comparing 1 person or thing with more than 2 person. 1 person I'm comparing with more than 2 person. That means the comparison is not between 2 person and superlative. The comparison is between many. That means more than 2. Now, when we use adjective for the purpose of comparison, it is said that we are using degrees of comparison. Now, whenever we are using adjective to compare anything, we say it's degree of comparison. The word degrees are used in 3 steps. First step is called positive degree, when we simply talk of the quality that one person or thing has. Now, if I say Pranshu is a clever boy, now over here I'm just talking about Pranshu. I'm not comparing Pranshu to anyone. I'm just talking about one boy, that is Pranshu. As positive degree doesn't need any comparison, so we are not going to use any comparison. So I always, Ronak, please stop that and sit properly. Since long I'm seeing you're making faces and all, please don't do that. Okay. Ronak, am I audible to you?
Ma'am, your voice is very low.
My voice is breaking. Okay, whatever. So, beta, please stop making faces. Now, when I'm saying clever, I'm not comparing anything. I'm just talking about one boy or maybe one girl. Now, the second step is called comparative degree when I'm comparing two things. Ram is cleverer than Sham. Now, see, Ram and Sham, I'm comparing two boys over here. And I'm using the word cleverer. Clear? Now, the third step, when I'm saying it's a superlative degree, I compare one person or thing to more than two person or thing. I may say, Stuti is cleverest of all. So I'm saying Stuti, I'm using one person, but I'm comparing Stuti to many. Stuti is cleverest of all means she is the cleverest girl among all the children in her class.
And Stuti is a boy.
Stuti is there.
And
Okay?
you said Stuti is a girl.
Stuti is there, Hanne. She's there in the class also right now.
But ma'am, Stuti is a boy.
Okay, Hanne, let's not discuss this. Okay? So, when I'm saying Stuti is cleverest of all, that means in her class, she must be the cleverest girl among all the students. So, when I say all, that means I'm comparing her to more than two people, two person. Or, yeah. So, positive, no comparison, comparative, only two person or thing we are going to compare. Third is superlative when I'm comparing one person to more than two person or anyone have any question, please ask now. Later, don't tell me. I won't come back to adjective. Anyone have any question? No question. Sure. Okay, I'll be asking questions then. Yeah, Shivin?
I have posted one example in the chat.
Okay, beta, I'll check. Okay. Yes, that's okay, Shivin. That's correct. Sneha. Yes, Sneha, that's correct. Now, look here. When we are talking about comparative degree, Sneha, you were correct. Yeah. When we are talking about comparative degree, remember one thing, as I say cleverer, we use ER at the end. But when I'm saying superlative, I am going to use EST. You are not going to use ER. You are going to use EST at the end of the word. Now there are words over here. Good. We never say gooder or goodest. That's wrong. So better, best. Bad, we may say worse, worst. Happy, see I've used ER. Happier, happiest. Strong, stronger, ER. Strongest, EST. Beautiful, we never use ER or EST when we are talking about the word beautiful. We may say more beautiful, we may say most beautiful. So you can use more or most before the word beautiful. Yes, Navya?
Ma'am, in words, in words, the comparative one, it is not ER.
I said, na, see, it's like good and good. In good, can you see in this better ER? Okay, you are talking about this EST ones. Okay, but for this good, better, are you able to see gooder or goodest for this? No. So there are words, there are few exception words which don't come up with ER or EST at the end. Because we can't use. Did you ever heard badder or baddest? No, never. So we can't use ER. In spite of that, we may use the word that helps me to understand, okay, it's a bit more worse, more bad than the thing. So worse and worst. Last one, when I'm saying beautiful, beautiful is again what? I never say beautiful or beautifulest. Never use these words. So what are we going to do? For more, always don't put more in superlative and most in comparative. Teacher will give you wrong. More will only be used in comparative and most will be used in superlative. Yes, Harme? Navya, it's clear?
Yes, ma'am, but how can we find the words which is not ER, which is not with ER?
Now that depends on the how much you speak in English or how much you read your books and all. Because when we say good is such a child baby word, isn't it, Navya? So when you speak English, when anyone speak to you in English, you never heard this word gooder, did you? No. So you are very easily able to understand that in this good, ER and EST won't work. So you have to, normally what happens, we usually learn. Like for few things are there like collective nouns, you have to learn. These degrees of comparison you have to learn. Then only you will be able to. Because as you all are small, not very big, so you are learning now. So obviously you all need to learn these things. Then only you will be thorough with it. Okay, Navya? Try to, from your internet or somewhere, try to take out degree of comparison words, collective noun words. Then you'll be able to learn. Okay, beta? Now we'll be doing contraction. Now when I say contraction, contractions are, you are going to use apostrophe. I would. Now when I say I would, I am going to use the contraction. That means how in short am I going to write this word I would. I'm going to use I, apostrophe. I am not going to use any among these. I will only use D from this. I would. You would. You will remain as you. Apostrophe will be there. Instead of would, you will use D. He should. Now again, he will be there. You will use apostrophe D. She should. She will be there. Apostrophe D. It would. It, apostrophe D. We would. We, apostrophe D. They would. They, apostrophe D. That would. These would. There would. What would. Where would. When would. Why would. How would. In all these words, the first word like these, there, who, what will remain as it is. Only we are going to do the contraction with the second word, that is would. We are going to put apostrophe and D after that. So it will become would. I would, you would, he would, she would, they would, what, okay? What would? All these. Now when I say be, that means you are word. Our words are going to be used. Are is. Now when I say you are, how we use in contraction? You apostrophe in this R, A you will remove, you will RE. Now when I say he is, he will remain as it is apostrophe S. She is, she will remain as it is apostrophe S. It is, it will remain as it is apostrophe S. We are, we will remain as it is. As I have already said, apostrophe A will be removed and RE will be added. Not added, sorry, RE will be used from it. That is, when I say that is, that will remain as it is and there will be an apostrophe S to it. Because when I'm saying is, I will be removed and the last letter is will be used. These are, these apostrophe RE. There is, there apostrophe S. That means there is, this is, I is being removed and apostrophe is being used here. Who is, whose, who apostrophe S. What are, see over here, R, A is removed, apostrophe is used. Where is where, apostrophe S. When is when, apostrophe S. Why is why, apostrophe S. But you never say why is when's, okay? When you're reading a storybook or maybe any book where you come across a contraction word, all the word, like we never say when's, why is. No. Why is, when is. So you can come up with like this. How are, how and apostrophe RE. Someone has raised hand. Yeah, Vanya, Sneha, you also raise your hand. No, just now I saw you. Sneha, you even raised your hand. Want to ask something?
Sure, apostrophe we are using just, we are removing first word and we are using rest all the words.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Shreyan.
And what can we write for should?
I'll show you. Wait. Let me finish. All the words are there. Okay. Yeah, Vanya.
Ma'am, what is the word of BE in the first?
Finish first contraction. You will come across all. Okay. I'll show all. This is just the second slide. Now, have or has. When we are talking about have or has, I have in contraction I, BE will only be used from HA. We will use apostrophe. You have, you will remain as it is, apostrophe BE. He has, he apostrophe S. She has, she apostrophe S. It has, it apostrophe S. We have, we apostrophe BE. They have, they apostrophe VE. That has, that apostrophe S. These have, these apostrophe VE. There has, their apostrophe S. So please remember, whenever we talk about have, it's VE which is going to be used, and whenever we talk about has, it S which is there, which we are going to use. But don't get yourself confused with S is used when we are talking about has, and S is used when we are talking about is. Now, how will you differentiate between that when you are reading a sentence? When we are reading a sentence, we have to find that when it is taken to be is and when it is taken to be has. Yes, Vanya?
Ma'am, in this slide, sometimes my teachers and my friends when reading book, they said he's, she's, it.
It's normally he is, it's can be used like this.
And he, she's, he's.
He is. Yes, we can do that. What I said just now, that only I said, now that you have to think about, you have to see. Normally what happened now when we are saying like he is, look here.
Yes.
Second one, he apostrophe S. But how will you differentiate whether this he is or whether it's has? That depends on the sentence which you are reading. Okay.
What do you mean by sentence you are reading?
What?
Ma'am, what do you mean by sentence you are reading?
Obviously, if the sentence demands that there need to be he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we said, he's a smart boy. Those in that there.
See what happened now? In very rare cases, we sometimes use these he's and all. These. What happened? We always use the she is.
Yes.
He is. Yeah. But why they have shown you, why I'm showing you these as a contraction, because it may happen that anytime in future, maybe now even, all may come across in your storybooks or in your school books, words like this. So then it's not that you'll think whether it's is or has. Ma'am had showed me in is, but no, I didn't show you only in is, I showed you in has even. You have to find out if they are saying that he has a beautiful pen, or he have a beautiful pen. That you have to think about how which contraction need to be there. Is hats over there suiting, or is have over there suiting? Because if is used, has won't be used over there. If has is used, is won't be used over there. It's obvious. Okay. Now, had. Now, when I say had, I will be used as it is. Apostrophe HA will be removed and D is going to be used. That goes with all. If you are saying you had, he had, she had, it had, he had, they had, that had, these had, they had, who had, where had, what had, where had, why had, how had. And when I'm using these in the form of contraction, I am using the first word as it is, the only had which I'm going to use as a contraction, apostrophe and D. HA is not going to be used in contraction. This is one of the easiest of all. Now, when I say will, again, we are very much aware that when double L will be used after apostrophe, it's will. I will. I is going to be as it is, apostrophe, double L will be used. You will, he will, she will, it will, he will, they will, that will, this will, there will, who will, what will, where will, when will, why will, how. So first word, it's going to be as it is. Only when I am saying will, apostrophe double L will be used over. Clear? Any question? Okay. Now, have, when I say again, see, could have, should have, could have, might have, must have. So with these words also, when you're using have, put apostrophe and be. Now, negative words. Now, as I've already said, when we are talking about negative words are something when we are denying, when we are saying no, don't, can't, not. All these are what? Negative words. So when I'm saying are not, when I'm saying are not, how will I use this in a form of contraction? Aren't. Now see the first word, this word has gone over here. This one. Isn't should be this side. Is not. What will be the contraction of is not? Isn't. Are not, aren't. Was not, wasn't. Were not, weren't. Have not, haven't. Has not, hasn't. Had not, hadn't. Will not, won't. Would not, wouldn't. Okay. So when I'm talking about negative, that means when I'm using not, listen, this is important. When I'm using not, ARE will be used as ARE. N will be used before apostrophe. And instead of O only, you're going to put apostrophe and then the T will. It becomes aren't. Wasn't. Clear? Now, apostrophe will be there over here instead of O only. N will remain as N, T will remain as T. Yes, Navya?
I am not able to understand that how had not is hadn't. I've never learned hadn't.
You will come across. This is very common.
Hasn't.
Okay. Now, I'll give you this work. Try to find the word with hadn't. Okay. Think. Find out. You'll get. Okay. Now, children, what I want you all to please revise your contraction. Next class, it may happen. I'll give you a few words and you have to write the contraction of those words. Okay. Okay, children. So I'm ending the class. All of you take care. Bye. Good night.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.